do want to talk about the game itself, right? So we haven't done this in a while, but I do want to bring it back for this one, man. So week 14 edition, man. What went right in your eyes? What went wrong in your eyes? And what the fuck? Starting with what went right. What went right for the Miami Dolphins against the Jets today, Rod?
What went right for the Dolphins, Herbie, was I would say the passing game was right for the Dolphins. Really, the passing game might have been the only thing that was kind of right for the Dolphins. And to add further to that, I would say late game execution, right? Execution in overtime was what went right for us. Like we were struggling with the Jets throughout today. We couldn't score field goals when we needed to. We were able to move the ball. We were able to move the ball all day. We didn't start punting until late in the game. But ultimately, what went right for the Dolphins was we were able to throw the ball all over the yard on the Jets team. Granted, Sauce wasn't playing. Like I get it, you know what I'm saying. But they have a top ranked defense, which says a lot. That we were still able to throw it all over the yard on them. But I would say what went right for us was late game execution and Tua in the passing game.
All right. This is the thing I want to expand upon for just a brief moment, right? Two in the passing game. Two is carrying your offense. Like y'all couldn't run the ball for shit this game. Like that is
We
we
haven't been able to
normally
run the ball for weeks.
and we normally assign that to great quarterback play. Like this is the thing about Tua, and and again, I'm an outside observer. I'm not a Dolphins fan, right? I'm just a person that hosts a Dolphins podcast or fan cast, as I should say. But I have never seen somebody get less credit for doing the things that all the great quarterbacks do. He is productive. He doesn't get credit for being productive. He is consistent. He does not get credit for being consistent. He is carrying the offensive load and not getting help from a running game. He does not get any credit for that whatsoever. Like nobody even mentions that you guys don't have a running game, bro. So, I know that drives you crazy. I know it does.
Herbie, that's the the sad thing is when it comes to Tua, Herbie, it like we always say it on this podcast, like a first impression is a lasting impression. And for whatever reason, like people just have not forgiven
Perception
this
is
man for his
reality,
first
man.
perception is reality. And people have
Yeah.
not forgotten how he looked. And listen, Herbie, I haven't forgotten how he looked when he played under Brian Flores, but I also have come to terms and understand the circumstances. I also understand why he looked the way he did, why the offense looked the way they did, because we had two offensive coordinators, Herbie, because we had people in the building who didn't know how to do their jobs. So when the people at the top can't do their jobs, you can't expect the people below them to completely be able to always overcome that. And even without realizing it, Tua has always made the players around him better. I challenge you, Herbie. I challenge anybody. Name me the receivers that Tua had his first 2 years outside of Waddle, who he got his second year. Where are they now, Herbie? Where are they now, Herbie? They're not even on practice squads no more. These were our starters. Lynn Bowden was a starter. Preston
Ooh.
Preston Williams was a starter.
Hey
Like,
man,
who are these guys, Herbie?
you saying
You'll see
people
you'll see
that
these niggas at Walmart now.
hey, those names, they don't sound like they got any kind of aura, dog. That Princeton, I don't want my receiver to be named Princeton, dog. Hell nah, man. Ain't no aura behind that. A wide receiver named Princeton? Yeah, he was set up for failure, dog, for sure. But he was doomed. At Linston? You said Linston? That's one of your wide receivers?
Preston.
No, the other
Preston.
one.
Preston.
The
Oh,
other
Lynn
one.
Bowden. Lynn
You had
Bowden.
a wide
Lynn
receiver
Bowden.
named Lynn. Come on, dog. Be for real, man. Y'all niggas was so unserious back in 2020. Y'all was so unserious. Y'all was Lynn? A wide receiver named Lynn Bowden?
Bro.
As a
That's
wide
what I'm
receiver
saying,
too?
Herbie.
Unserious organization, man.
Super
No
unserious,
aura.
dog.
No aura
So
behind that at all.
so so it's just like you said, like Herbie, it's a super frustrating thing. Like, listen, I get it. The guy can't do certain things. He's not a Mahomes type. He's not a Allen
Once
or
in a
Lamar.
gen
I get it, Herbie.
God forbid he's not a once in a generation, once in a 30-year prop player, bro. I'm sorry, dog. Like God forbid, bro.
That's what I'm
God
saying. Like, what are people expecting? Like, at the end of the
uh,
day, Herbie, and the saddest thing about Tua too is, Herbie, I feel like the only people who really appreciate his ability, outside of like obviously fans of the team that just don't hate, are people who actually watch film. Because
Hmm.
Herbie, anybody, especially ex NFL players, ex NFL quarterbacks, watching them break down Tua's film, Herbie, they're damn near ready to blow a load all over the fucking
Nah,
film.
yeah, Dan, you can't. Dan Arlovsky want to make love to the fucking all 22, bro. He wants to fuck it, bro. Like when he talk about Tua,
Oh
bro.
my
So
god.
yeah,
What?
I understand.
JT O'Sullivan when he talks about him. When Kurt Warner. All these guys, when they talk about him, they describe the things that the old school great quarterbacks used to do. But because it's Tua, because of the name he has, because of
Hmm.
what he hasn't accomplished, and Herbie, that's the only that to me, Herbie, when it comes to Tua, you push the injuries aside, him as a player, he's an elite quarterback. He's a great quarterback. He's an elite passer. To be an elite quarterback in this day and age, you kind of got to go above and beyond. That's what
Yeah,
everybody
that's what
tells
comes. That's
me.
what it is. That's what it is.
That you know what I'm saying?
You have to.
But
Okay, so Tua is an elite passer, but he's not an elite football player, right? And that's not his fault.
exactly.
Like that's Tua is great, and you could win a Super Bowl with Tua. That's ultimately not everybody's a fucking cyborg freak of nature, dog. It's only like three at
Yes.
any given time in any generation, right?
Josh
Is this
Allen is Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes. Who else? Come
That's
on.
it.
What are we doing
That's
here?
where it get. Everybody else
Like,
is this person good enough to win a Super Bowl with. I'm comfortable at the stage of saying that you could do that with Tua, right? So back to the game itself, though. What in your eyes went wrong, and why is it the fucking defense again? Just go ahead. Spoiler alert. It's the defense. What went wrong with the fucking defense again, bro? Who gave up over 400 yards to the New York Jets? Who gave up the
bro,
first 300-yard game to Aaron Rodgers out of his
in
last
30 games.
130 games? What is going on with this defense? What is going on? And again, it was number 5 was getting abused by number 5.
Oh,
Jalen
oh.
Ramsey was getting hell from Garrett Wilson. That boy
Nah,
was
Garrett
putting
A.
BTA belt to ass on Jalen Ramsey today. So, what is going on, sir? What is going on, sir?
Oh man, Herbie. Well, you know what it is, Herbie. First and foremost, I think what's really hurt the defense a lot is just we've had a ton of injuries, bro, especially in the front seven. Losing, not having Bradley Chubb out there, not having Jalen Phillips, who were our two best pass rushers last season. Um, that's number one. We lost Van Ginkel in the offseason, Christian Wilkins in the offseason. Zach Sealer has always been a baller for us. Calais Campbell, year 17, has been a godsend. And Chop Robertson's a rookie who he's catching his footing. So we really don't have any premier pass rusher. So even though we can kind of get a little pressure with 4, at the end of the day, we have to run a lot of simulated pressures, throw a lot of blitzes in order to really, really generate pressure. And that is putting our corners on an island. And because our front can't really put pressure on quarterbacks like that, like towards the end of the game, we were able to we were wearing, the Jets offense had worn down a bit. We started finally, Zach Sealer started getting sacks and Calais started getting pressure. We started getting more pressure as the game went on. But for whatever reason, Herbie, like at the end of the day, our defense, without those premier pass rushers to really speed up the process of the quarterbacks, um, we're kind of dead in the water. As you can see, Jalen Ramsey is not what he once was. Like he was getting, I noticed it today, Herbie. Like he was getting cooked, baked chicken. Like that boy was on a skillet today, man. Like Garrett Wilson took him to the woodshed today. Devontae Adams. I think both of those niggas had over 100 yards. So that goes to show you that Kendall Fuller and Kader Kohu and all of our corners all our corners had a rough day today against the Jets receivers. But I wouldn't even just put it all on the defense, Herbie. I wouldn't even put it all on the defense, Herbie. The offensive line, too. I feel bad for our running backs, Herbie. I feel bad for them because they don't have any holes to run. Like there are so many times, like our guard play is so atrocious. Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg, Herbie, these motherfuckers, they can't do anything right. Ever since we lost Austin Jackson, our ability to run the ball has completely plummeted, has completely gone down the drain. And I was especially early in the game on the first drive where we kept trying to punch the ball in. The Jets ended up having a penalty, and we got another set of downs every single time except for when Devon Achan was able to get the ball in. We would run, and you would just see these niggas getting like Liam Eichenberg and Robert Jones are grown ass men, Herbie, and they're getting pushed back. Like there are times, Herbie, you watch film and you see Liam Eichenberg sitting on his ass, Herbie, after a play. There are times you see Robert Jones looking around after a play. It's like, man, we can't do anything. Like we can't really be the best offense we can be with guys like that. And then you have Teron Armstead who gets hurt. So now Patrick Paul, who's a rookie, he, as far as I know, you know what I'm saying, and I haven't watched the film of the game yet, but from what I could tell, he had a pretty good day because I didn't hear his name get called. He wasn't letting niggas get beat. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't holding anybody. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, Herbie, the offensive line play, especially in the run blocking, they've been better the pass blocking and plus Tua, which is another thing he doesn't get enough credit for. Gets the ball out so fast all the time. Herbie, I don't think people realize how exhausting it has to be to almost have to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds. Like Tua literally almost has to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds or he's screwed. So it's just like you're dealing with that kind of shit going on. So, what we're wrong today, Herbie, was the defense took a little too long to get going. They eventually got going, which we could slide into what went right. But the defense and the offensive line, Herbie, no bueno, man. They've been no bueno this year.
Yeah, man, and it was disappointing because like at times you can see that the defense is coming together, but it's just the inconsistency. And I remember you said it. I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 pods ago. You said this team is a can't get right team, right? Like when the offense is right, the defense is poor. When the defense is playing good, the offense is a mess, bro. So it's a can't
Always.
get right team, bro.
It's one or the other. It's one or the other, bro. It's always one or the other.
And to me that speaks to a lack of focus, right? Because I think when you guys had Skyler and you had I can't remember his name, but when Tua was out,
Oh, Tyler Huntley. Tyler
Huntley, I felt like the defense felt like they had to step up and they had to be locked in, or you guys would have had no chance. And now that they have Tua back, I think they lost that focus because if you could play, if you could hold teams to 16 and 13 and 12 points when Tua was out, that means that you guys were fully focused. And now that Tua is there, you're not as completely engaged as you should be, bro. And again, championship football has to be symbiotic, bro. Special teams, defense, offense, all have to be locked in at the same fucking time, dog. Nobody can take a day off. Nobody can take a week off. Nobody can take a possession off because that's how you end up 6-7 when you do shit like that.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely, bro. Absolutely, bro. You hit it on the head.
And that's what I'm watching. If you guys were always bad on defense the entire season, I'd be like, y'all just a bad defense. No, you guys are a capable defense, but you are a inconsistent defense. And listen, BTA, Belta Ass, Kalot, Zoklo, whatever you want to call it, Jalen Ramsey, bruh. Hey, it happens to the best of them, dog. You got to just charge that one to the game, right? The hope is that's not what we're going to see going forward from number 5. It is extremely hard to play cornerback. It's extremely hard to play it as long as he's played it. You got to remember, he was in the same draft with Ezekiel Elliott. That's a very long time ago. I think what it was, 2015, might be the 2015 draft.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a long time, dog. Like, to be a high-end quarterback, that's a testament to him. You don't make it that long at that position, dog. Your legs get
that's
cooked.
facts.
Like, that's a lot of backpedaling. That's a lot of...
Honestly, you can see the age on him, Herbie. You can see it a little bit. He's an old dog now.
Think about this. Think about this. Like, think about this. Seriously, think about this. He was drafted a spot after Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is running like he got a fucking grand piano on his back right now, dog. Like, this shit goes. When it goes for football players, dog. It goes fast, bro. So we just got to hope that was just a charge it to the game, right? versus, oh, this is what he is now. Because when you fall off a cliff at that position, there's no hiding you. You can't be hidden. You either got to play
No.
zone or it's going to be a lot of yards given up, man. So before we get back to that point with Chris Greer, though, we have one more thing we have to ask. It's the same thing happened to you, happened to me, bro. But like I was saying, bro, so what is your what the fuck? And I'll give mines before you give yours because this is going to be funny.
Go ahead.
My what the fuck in this game was Jason Sanders didn't completely botch the game. What the fuck? Like, what? Let's go. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When Jason Sanders was there to tie the game at 26, I'm like, dog, this shit is getting shanked. And even when it went in,
we gotta have faith in this motherfucker.
even when it went in and the referees did this, I still wasn't completely sure, dog, because it's Jason Sanders, dog. Like, I wasn't sure until I saw that shit say 26-26, bro. So that's just my what the fuck. What was your what the fuck from this game?
You know what's funny, Herbie? We have similar what the fucks, but mine is a little different. My what the fuck for Jason Sanders is this. Jason, how the hell do you hit 50-yard field goals, 57-yarder, 52-yarder, and you missed the PAT to start the game? How do you, Herbie, when he missed that kick to start the game, I thought that was an omen, dog. I thought that was the sign that this was going to be one of those games, just much like Malik Washington muffing the punt last week. I was thinking to myself, like, damn, this man missed the PAT. Are you serious? Like it spelled doom to me, Herbie. That was my. But then he went on and he was money the rest of the game. But it was just one of those WTF moments where it's just like, dude, like these kickers, man, like what's going on, bro? The PAT getting moved back really was that? It was that bad of a thing for them, man. Like it was that bad of a thing for them.
You know what? Though like, I do like that the NFL did that because it was to the point. Because I think the stat was it was like 97% was converted, and it was just to the point. It was like, why even have them out there? What's the point? Like, just get. It was getting to the point where you're just like, bro, just make it 7. Like, they don't miss these.
Facts.
So them pushing it back, it added intrigue, it added spice, and it's not a guarantee anymore, and it ultimately affects the game because now you guys have to completely change how you do things. You're going to have to go for it to get that point back. You might have to, say, strategize a little bit differently. The fact that he missed that point after is why the game went to overtime to begin with. Because if he didn't miss that point after, y'all scored that touchdown. Instead of it being 23-23, it's 23-24. Or it's 26-27. I should say. Right. Game's over. There's no in the regulation. So that point after that he missed so early in the game came back
first possession,
and affected everything down to the last fucking drive in regulation, bro. So I'm a fan of it. But man, when these dudes miss, you just be like, come on, dog.